Good evening, and welcome to another episode of Issues in Focus with Shabiki Bibles. It's such a pleasure to be here another week. And I know for a fact, well, I don't know for you if you had a wonderful week, but for me, for sure, I know I had an enjoyable one. And it's such a privilege to be sitting here amongst these gentlemen as we explore this wonderful topic this evening. Where is my bride part two? And such a pleasure. So, just before I introduce them, let us pray. Father God, we are so thankful for the members of the audience and those individuals who will view very soon. I pray, Lord, that you will inspire them. You will help, especially our ladies, um, to be able to learn a thing or a few this evening. Have your way, we pray through Jesus Christ. Amen. All right. So while this program is captioned "Where is my groom?" One of the things I want to tell you, ladies, is that
Right.
you learn a whole lot from our gentlemen this evening, a whole lot. So you can't afford to miss it. Invite a friend, share the link, tell somebody that we're live. So at the end of the day, um, they can enjoy what the gentlemen have in store for us. So if you were here the last time, you would have met these illustrious young men. And let me introduce them one by one. So sitting next to me virtually, we have. Did I say where's my groom? Wow, sorry, audience. My sincere apology, gentlemen. My sincerest apology. You know the transition from where is my groom last week. My apology. Forgive me, I'm a woman. Where is we are looking at where is my bride? Where is my bride? That is the topic for this evening. And so one of the things I wanted, as usual, for members of the audience, we will not know if you're watching unless you send a comment in the comment section so that we know definitely that you are here viewing with us. So just before we go any for oh wow, I see Sister Deborah's comment. Beautiful. So one of the things. So let me introduce the members to you, these gentlemen. First up, we have Yamin Benjamin, 29 years of age. He's a landscaper and small machine repairer. He's a skilled laborer, and one of his interests includes playing guitar. And one of the things I must tell you that I would have learned from Yamin is the fact that he is deeply interested in herbal medicine and anything as it relates to herbs. So, ladies, if you're having any medical issue and you like, or even gentlemen, and you like the natural stuff, Yamin is the person that you can basically make contact with, and he will help you a lot. So, Yamin, it's a pleasure for you to have you here this evening. Next up, we have a young man who perhaps don't like smiling. I've never really seen any picture with him smiling. But right now I'm looking at him backstage, and yes, at least I'm seeing a beautiful smile. Gavin Thomas, you know the age, he said he's been around the block. He's from Guyana. He's a pharmacy technician, student pharmacist, and his qualifications SYL and AYLA awardee, comprehensive sexuality education facilitator, peer educator, youth empowerment personnel, licensed pharmacist assistant, and a final year Bachelor of Science student in pharmacy. So, Gavin, you will have to tell me if you're finished now or this will be your final year this September.
So I'm currently wrapping up my final year actually. Just my, like two courses left. So I'm finishing this year by God's
Beautiful,
grace.
beautiful. I can't wait. So his interest with involve volunteering at YAM Guyana, GRPA, Potluck Guyana, visiting new places and having new challenges that calls for innovative thinking. So Gavin, welcome once again to Issues in Focus. Next up, we have Kevin Daniel from Trinidad and Tobago. He's a pool technician by profession, and his qualification, of course, is a skilled laborer. His interests include running, hiking, writing, poem, and And I had and spending time with family. And one of the things I must say, I attended a friend's wedding a few months ago, and I would have listened to one of Kevin's poem, and I'm like, yeah, bro, you on point, right? And so indeed, he's a poet. Keep writing, I must say. And it's a pleasure to have you here at Issues in Focus. Next up, we have the general himself, Mr. Colville Turk, aged 29 years, from the island of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. He's a music teacher by profession. His qualifications include Bachelor of Science in Psychology, minor in music, and a Master's of Science student in counseling psychology. His interests include multi-instrumentalist, fitness, self-development podcasts. So I'm happy that Colville is here once again with us this evening. How long he will be here for tonight, I am not too certain. He's currently between two different events this evening, but I'm happy that at least he is here. He's here for the first part, and we will have a surprise guest who will be with us. So when he is here, I'm going to introduce you. You have not seen him on the flyer, but he will be joining us this evening. So, gentlemen, all welcome to each and every one of you. So we're going to get straight into it. I'm seeing Comfort Slims. Welcome to you, Janessa. Welcome, Diana. Ross, welcome. And to all those persons who are viewing anonymously, welcome. My sister Stacy, welcome to each and every one of you. Last week, those of you who joined last week, we had the session, Where is My Groom, last week. And the guys would have posited some questions that I was like, the girls were extremely blown away with. And one of the things this evening's program, I would have redirected some of the questions to our gentlemen so that they can help us as ladies know how to handle certain things. So part two, Where is my my bride? Gentlemen, we need help. Ladies need help. And so because of that, we are happy that you guys are here. And based on the answer to the questions, which of course some of them might be your personal opinions, but we're going to explore this evening. I am seeing my good friend Danielle Nanton. I don't know why I pronounced your name incorrectly, but I hope I got the pronunciation correct this evening. Welcome to you, and Alicia Nelson. All right, gentlemen, you guys ready? All right, so I'm seeing the nod. Members of the audience, the gentlemen, they are ready to explore this topic this evening. Remember, if you have not shared the link, please do so. Ladies, if you have your lady friends, invite them. We need to hear what the men, what they have to say about this particular topic this evening. All right, Karen Fable, welcome to you. Let's go, gentlemen. Let's go. Let's roll. First question. Some men claim it is almost impossible to find out when some women are single. How would you advise women to put themselves out there to be seen by single men? I'm going to repeat the question once again. Some men claim it is almost impossible to find out when some women are single. How would you advise women to put themselves out there to be seen by single men? Gentlemen. All right, I'm going to do my favorite thing. All right, Gavin is smart enough to put on his microphone.
Right. So, good evening, everyone. Thank you again for having me, Shibiki. So, the last time in part one, we, Colvin, I believe it was, shared this new word, this new thing of femininity. Um, and I probably want to start there, re-emphasizing what he shared the last time, that women should try to tap into, if not, or tap in more to their femininity or feminine side. Of course, we don't expect anybody to be walking around with a sign that says on the forehead, hey, I'm single. But of course, you can share with persons around who might have your best interest at heart. So I'd probably say there, tap into your femininity. Share with persons who have, who could be able to help connect, help link. Be open to dating in its true sense and meaning. seeing multiple persons, getting to know persons. Um, the sad reality is, some men make it hard for other men because women put up this sort of barrier, and so women tend to block out. I mean, I'm single, I want people, but yeah, there's still this wall around me. So women need to start looking into that. Um, just be open. I mean, we talked about persons having lists and all these things, but I think in order for persons, for you to be more open or accessible to persons, to males, you need to be flexible. I'm not saying just bend for anything, because there's a saying. What's the saying? If you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. Know your worth, but still be able to be flexible. Another thing, I think like I'm talking too much, but another thing, getting into a relationship generally is a risk. So you need to be aware of this. And someone once said, invest what you're willing to lose or what you can lose. So that's important to know that. And go places. Generally, some women, they want to find a boyfriend, they want to find somebody, but you're not going places, you're not doing things. You need to get out there. Um, yeah, we pray and everything, but we expect the Lord to just bring him here in front of me. And so I need to go out, explore. Yeah, and I think would be some of my advice to women out there who are seeking to form relationships, and start simple. But of course, don't go about the place looking too desperate, because that's another thing. I think we probably get into that later, but yeah. I mean, there are ways and means to say, hey, I'm single, without looking or appearing desperate.
Food for thought, ladies. I'm telling you, ladies, listen. This program is for you this evening. The guys are going to teach us some tips that trust me, we can be able to incorporate it in our lives. I'm seeing Anita Smith agreeing with that. All right, good. So who will be next?
I'll go. So, originally, if you want to find out someone, if a young lady is single, just simply ask them. You could do that. You could try that as well, right? But it can be challenging to tell. However, I will say it depends on your experience as well, because then you will be able to tell via body language, the choice of words you use, and even the eye contacts, right? But I also don't think women needs to do anything to put themselves out there. However, what they might need to do is to be sure of what, or who rather, they want. Simply because some women who are interested of getting involved do show that they are interested, but then there are those who are not fully sure if they want to or not, and can cause mixed signals, right? Perhaps it's from fear, nervousness, or past experiences and so forth. So I would just say be sure that is what you want to get into.
All right. Thank you very much, Kevin. I'm seeing Yamin reaching for his microphone. Yeah, go ahead, Yamin.
Yeah, I say there's a certain thing sometimes when you, based on your your position in life, that you put yourself out. I think that women supposed to be at a neutral ground. They don't supposed to just throw out themselves and say I'm single. Based on your situation, you mingle with people, you get to understand the ways, the steps and everything, and then you do it little, and the process comes into to the movement, and everything will come. That's what I have to say.
All right. Thank you very much. Oh wow. I hope Colville internet doesn't go at this point in time when he's about to speak. But in the meantime, let me just say welcome to Omadeli Armstrong. Welcome to hi Dr. Shaw. Thank you very much. So welcome to you, Doc. It's always a pleasure to have you on our program. As a matter of fact, almost every single week you're here with us. And so it's such a pleasure to have you. Can't wait to meet you in person. All right, good. So Colville, same question. Let me hear your response on this.
First of all, good night, everybody. Thanks for having me again, Shibiki.
Good
I'm
night.
actually at rehearsal right now, so if you hear any competing sound of instruments, so hopefully you guys can hear me clearly. I want to start off by, well, say start off. My major point would be to be in service to God. Meaning, if you find your purpose, a young lady, she finds her purpose in Christ. When she is carrying out her God-given duty in ministry, she has that advantage of being seen by potential suitors around. And the way how men are, she might not necessarily need to say anything. While she is going about doing her Christian duty, probably involving children ministries, Pathfinder, whatever ministry she's involved in, the young men would be able to see her and they would be like, they would probably ask a friend, who's that girl over there, boy? Who's who's that? You know, so what that's a good place to start. Know your purpose in Christ, and once you dedicate yourself to ministry, ministry will never keep you on the inside. One of the things we like to say as musicians, you could be the world best musician, but if you stay in the bedroom, nobody would ever know. So you don't want to be a single person in the house, locked up all the time, and complaining about being single. Nobody would ever see you. So that is why I would admonish to involve yourself in ministry, because there is no ministry, none whatsoever, that would keep you inside, because spreading God's gospel is a public thing. And I'll keep my answer there. That's a good place to start.
So Colville, I just want to throw a question back at you, because I have been in dialogue with so many single women, and what about those who have been involved in ministry? They've been there, they're involved. Talk about a position in church, they're there. Talk about helping people, they're there. And yet still they're single. How would you advise those women now to put themselves out there? I mean, they're already out there. Like what else?
Shibiki, could you repeat the question, please? I'm having some connection issues, sorry.
So I'm saying there's some women who have been involved in everything, the ministry that you would have spoken about, and they're always out there. But yet still, they have not found any suitor, per se. What would you say to those women? Or what may be the reason why?
Well, there could be many possible reasons, and the sad reality is that, and I tell young ladies this all the time, you could be doing everything that you're supposed to do, and still be in a position where you're not getting what you want to get, as in you're not finding a relationship that you want to. And sometimes young ladies beat themselves up and say, but I'm doing this thing, I'm doing this thing, I'm doing this thing, you know, putting myself out there. But the reality is, in church, there are more females in church. So you could be doing all the right things and still not, you know, getting that success you want. But for advice for those persons, they might have to go extra, you know, not to lead into the other questions I'll push forward in the program. Women don't like to feel rejected, but for those persons, they might have to, if not shoot the shot, like make it known that they're available in more specific ways.
All right, ladies, I hope my single friends are listening.
So you make the young man know that, hey, I'm not saying to use these words, be creative in whatever way, but the intention is make it known that you're available, and if you would like to get to know me, I'm available. You leave that right there. Pursuing is the young man's job. All you're doing is making sure that you let it known that I'm available.
All right. So let me go. Odesia Hill, welcome to you. Welcome to Ryan. So Odesia, So Odessa said, I'm thinking if a young lady is single and interested, she'll communicate that to you the best way she could. So this moves me directly into our next question. And so the question is, gentlemen, and I really want to hear your view on it, because last week we had the differences, some people for it, some people against it. What is your view on a woman pursuing you? And this is not, don't give me worldview here. This personalize this. Imagine you, Colville, you, Yamin, you, Gavin, you, Kevin. What is your view on a woman pursuing you? Let me hear.
Can you break that down? Can you ask me? Can you tell me what pursue? Pursue. Can you break it a little down for me?
All right, let me hear.
Pursue?
All right, so okay, some pursue, we see it as persons, okay, a woman coming up to you and telling you that, hey, you know, I love you, or like I like you. And I don't know if that's a definition. Gentlemen, you can help me to understand too and explain deeper the definition of pursue in your context, right? But help me to understand this. So our guest is here. In the meantime, while you ponder on that question, I would like to welcome at this point in time, we have Jassy. Jassy is here. Jassy Brown is here with us. For those of you who are on the SDA links, you may have seen him. In fact, no, you wouldn't see him because you don't know who exactly created the link. But this is the young man behind the SDA links. He's a web developer by profession, system administrator. He would have completed his Bachelor of Science in computer science, emphasis in software system. And he has a master's degree in educational technology, e-learning emphasis. And so it's a pleasure to have you, Jassy, with us this evening, joining this very significant and important conversation, such a time as this, because many of our women, they're crying out. They wouldn't cry out to you guys, but they are crying out when we are in our women's circle. And so the question we have on the table, as a matter of fact, Jassy, let me go back to question 1 for you to answer, while these gentlemen ponder a little longer on question 2 so that they can answer it. So the first question was this. Some men claim it's almost impossible to find out when some women are single. How would you advise women to put themselves out there to be seen by single men?
Wow. Good night, everyone. You all hear me fine, right?
Perfect.
Doing this all right, good. Doing this from my mobile phone now. So, all right. My advice. I'm not sure what was said before by the panel, so I hope I'm not being too repetitive. But first thing is, well, be approachable. And what I mean by be approachable, you know, some people have what we call a resting. I don't say the word face, you know. Some people, right, have that, right? Now, I don't know what causes that. Like, I don't know if somebody may have had some kind of messed up experience that day, or maybe even, I don't know, a messed up week. But from what I understand, you use less muscles to smile than the resting. There's always a nice word for that, boy. Resting B face, right? Let's just say that, right? That to me is one of the main things that puts off people, because some ladies have really amazing personalities. But you see, when you have to now go beyond call, or I should say, go the extra mile to approach them, that's where the issue does lie for me, because I don't go through the rundown thing. You know, I would say, hi, what's up? If you ain't say nothing, well, on to the next. You know, because the ratio men to women is greater now. So I'm not going to frustrate myself with that. But You see, when you have a nice, pleasant smile, you know, you can tell a guy no, or because you have a nice, pleasant smile, whatnot, you will try again because you all know might just be try harder or something like that now. So I think the first thing you should really attempt to fix is the face, you know, how your demeanor, you know, how you look. So I'm not sure if any of you all said that before.
No, you talk, you talk, you talk.
Oh, okay, right. I just I just want to make sure. So yeah, that is my opinion with one piece of advice. Uh, to let guys know you're single, act single. Yeah.
So
Flirt.
what's acting single look like? You know I'm gonna push for that, eh?
Yeah, flirt. Yeah, sorry to say I know our church don't really push that, but yeah, flirt. You
So,
understand?
Talk
oh
about the male,
wait.
talk about the male best friend. That's it.
That
So
what's that?
help me to understand flirt in the context, because in my mind I'm thinking flirt something else. So tell me, when you say flirt, what are you saying?
Huh. I don't know. Some females flirt with their body language, how they look at you, you know. So it's like sending out choosing signals or something like that. So you must know, I guess everybody here, I don't know the age group of the panel, but I would like to believe everybody over 25. Right? Right, okay, cool. Right. So you should have a fair idea as to when somebody is flirting with you. Right? You can't tell me you're that lost, you're that slow. You understand? We in the 21st century, you understand? Nobody really on that rock. Yes, they might try to say us in the Caribbean here, third world, but no. We understand first world concepts. So yeah, flirt.
All
I'm
right,
not sure.
Jazzy. While you were speaking, the other young men, they were just laughing. Any one of you have anything to add to Jazzy's point? All right, so I see Culver shaking the head. Nah. All right, Jassy. So, ladies, flirt. That's my word for tonight. Anyway, I like the body language though. The body
Yeah.
language you can use. And we women, we're smart about that. Right? I think one of the guys last week in the chat. Go ahead.
I was gonna say when Jesse was speaking, I was saying, I was jokingly saying, what about the male best friends? Sometimes females have males close to them, and you'd be like, they're not together, really? I thought they were together. I could have shoot my shot at this girl a long time already, but she always walking around with this guy that I think they're together.
Yeah.
So you know,
Yeah.
just be aware of those things.
Yeah.
That's
Sometimes the guy put himself in our friend zone too, eh? So yeah, that kind of let them know you know about our friend zone life up front. Like getting to know each other or they're on to the next. So you ladies, if you're looking for a husband, you can't really be on this friend zone like that's just my opinion. You know, I'm not saying go and do the most or anything like that, but if you know you're seeking, you're looking for a husband, don't I hear it a lot and it feels a lot where they say, okay, be his friend, be his friend, be his friend. But if you're being somebody's friend, that means you're looking for a friendship, now relationship, now husband. That's how I see it now. So I don't start off this thing with let's be friends. No. I this is just me. I let
Having
you
a
know
female friends
upfront
already,
what is
Jesse.
up. No, seriously, because I can't comprehend the friend zone too much. Like, so it's no.
All right. I have to take a breather for that one, ladies. If you're listening, you listen well. So, okay, Yamin, go right ahead, Yamin.
Yeah, you know, sometimes based on your experience with your ladies, you having ladies around you, and based on the experience, how the atmosphere is, you cannot even speak because of situations you get into in your life. So you just limit, and sometimes the road is there for you to drive into the road, and you don't even drive through the road. So this itself is another. I got
Yeah,
in a lot of situations like that already. And
totally
it's
understand that.
afterwards when I knew it was the right road, it is too late already.
Yeah. Yeah, let me just say something to you guys, gentlemen. So even if the woman, she has a friend, and I think it's an excellent advice for us, be very careful with our male best friends. But at the same time, men, I think you should still approach a woman. Ask, just find out. You can do it. You can do it in a smarty way. That hey, you and the you know how you guys know you have so many different 1,000 ways without this woman feeling on the spot that you may
Well,
be
well,
interested.
Shibiki, this is our point. You just said you should still approach. While we second guessing, I wonder if two of them did. The girl who is clearly by herself, we would go and talk to her instead of having to go through your little maze and talk to her still. There's another young lady over there. She's walking around the place with the young man. So that's not a maze, that's a straight line.
All right.
I mean,
So
I mean,
I need to
So
I hear the argument, but I think we're going down a path where we're not advising male female friendships, and I don't think that's something we should advocate for. Because I mean, I get your point, Colin. I mean, yeah, it's easier, but yeah, male and females can be friends, can have the friendship, but again, I think like Shibiki and somebody said, just ask. I mean, there's no harm in it. I guess we can talk about rejection later, but yeah.
yeah, I'm not against male-female relationship. I have a lot of female friends, so I'm not against it. But we're just talking about things that could be a hindrance, and
Yeah.
you have to be aware of what you're doing and putting out there.
Yeah, that's a definite one. That's because I had male friends who guys felt that okay, wait, you guys were never together. I'm like, no, we were just friends, and I have had situations where I judge people based on friendship until I approach a girl and I was like, hey, how is your boyfriend doing? She was like, who are you talking about? I'm single. And I'm like, you and the guy are not together? And she was like, no. And so we have these situations occurring all the time. And I think it's a good caution and advice for us women. And on a serious note, I want to caution women on that one. Let's be careful with that one.
Yeah, let me put an end to the friend zone.
All right. So Anita said, so girls like to make styles, not saying that you must settle for anything, but you can give someone a chance. And I believe that, yes. Welcome to Fran. Welcome to Simple Natural Bells World. Hi, Drayson. Well, Drayson said he can't be here. Drayson, gentlemen, let me just put up Drayson's comment here. He said, unfortunately, I have to host a church program tonight. Guys represent me well. So yeah, represent Drayson, right? So Sister Deborah said, ladies, just be yourselves and ask God for directions. All right. So I noticed Yakima is here. Welcome to you, Yakima.
I want to rebut that point.
Which one of them?
You see, you can't. I think I meant, ladies, just be yourself and ask God for direction. Asking God for direction means you might need to do things that are not necessarily yourself naturally. And I think I attacked this the last program. Sometimes
you did.
the 20th century woman wants to just exist and feel that things will come to her. No, you have to put in your effort too. So
That's right.
just be yourself and ask him for direction. The direction that God gives you might mean that if you're like an introverted, you might have to do something just outside of your comfort zone a bit.
Yeah.
Guys have to do it all the time. Because if we don't make that first move, if we don't shoot a shot, we'll stay by ourselves. So we know that we have to do something in order to get what we want. So the whole mindset of just be yourself. Yes, be yourself in terms of character and personality, but know that I have to do a little extra and be able to tweak something if I want this certain thing.
Yeah. Yep. I like that. So I know Yakima asked some questions there, but I will take your question after this question here. I don't want Colville to disappear on us before answering this question. So I'm going to put it up at this point once again. Question, where are you? Yes. what is your view on a woman pursuing you? What is your view on a woman pursuing you? And as I said, Jassy, you were not here before when I asked this question, but I said, let this be personalized, these questions. Don't tell me nothing but the research. What is your personal view on a woman pursuing
Yeah.
you? Let me hear some
Um,
responses.
well, I'll go first. This happened to me a couple of times. The thing about it is, my opinion, well, clearly it didn't work because I ain't committed right now. But the thing about it is, it to me, I appreciated at that time the effort that she was putting. Right? It was a university relationship, so oh, I said too much there. Anyway, basically, yeah, basically, I agree with it to some extent, but it's still the role of the man to do the pursuing now. So if she pursues me by the same things that I was listing before with flirting, choosing signals, whatnot, if that is the definition of a woman pursuing, yes, 100%. But if it come down now to she asking you out, she proposing, all these kind of nonsense, so, and all that. But definitely she needs to do like Ash Ketchum and say, I choose you, that kind of way. Especially in this day and age. So yeah, that I agree with it to some extent. Well, I just explained. So yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
Let me
Yeah.
let me
So,
no,
what is what is your view on a woman's pursuing you? Well, sometimes there are different men in this world. I will give a parable of a vehicle. There's a key. You use a key to start a vehicle. When the vehicle can't start, you call two friends or two persons, and you give the vehicle a push and you give it a bank start. So when it bank start, it starts. One hand doesn't clap, one hand it snaps. So sometimes based on the way our men are, we need to give them a bank start because based on their lives and what they have gotten in, they need a bank start, they need a little push so that they can get into themselves and to drive up the road. That's how I say it.
So let me go down to you personally now, Yamin. After giving us that as you term it as a parable, right? But what about you? What is your take on a woman just coming up, whether it's your friend or not, somebody just coming up and say, okay, I like you, or she acting, when she around you is that she likes you and everything, right? What is your view on that?
Well, it probably heaven came down and glorified my soul. God sent a blessing from above.
All right.
That's what I can say.
let me answer before the people talk, so before I get into pursuit, I think reciprocity is important. Meaning, if I show an interest in you, then she should also show an interest in me. That is interest, right? That is very important. If I show interest in you, you should show interest in me. Now, considering pursuit, this is what came to my mind. I think about the end goal. What is the end goal? The end goal is marriage, right? Well,
Yeah.
hopefully that is why we date on these things. So if marriage is the end goal, I'm thinking about me, I'm answering it for me, as being the future head of my home, right? Well, it'll be our home, but you understand what I'm saying? I'll be the head of the home, right? So for me, pursuit means I am searching, looking, dating, going after a young lady who I want to be my support in a unit where I would be the head. If she pursues me, it's like it comes as if she is taking on a role that I am supposed to actually be taking on. You understand? So how it is set up biblically, the the man is the head of the home. So for me, this is for me personally, when the man goes out and pursue, it's like he's looking for somebody to be a part of his family where he is the head. And vice versa, it seems as if the role that she should be functioning in gets reversed. So she is taking on the role of what the man should be doing. So that's what came to my mind when I thought about pursuit and considering the end goal.
All right. Thank you very much, Calvin. Gavin, Kevin.
All right. So yeah, this is a very iffy question, socially, biblically, however you want to look at it. But personally, I would say I don't see a problem, or I don't have a problem with it. You see something you want, or you see somebody that you think you want to get to know, then go right ahead. I mean, I think someone mentioned earlier about not the friend zone. But of course, get to know the person. There's different types of dating and all these things. We talked about this the last time. But yeah, I personally would not have a problem with it. Um, we talk about flirting. That might be a bit light. Some men might even think, some women or even other women might think that some women are very aggressive because, like, I mean, it's something that I've been through from a young age. These I mean, not to brag or anything, but yeah, like I've always been in these situations where women just come out to me like without let's say without some might be flirting, yeah, but some people come out to me that hey, this is what's going on. Um, but yeah, I personally don't.
I see you.
But I personally don't see an issue with it. But like Colin is sharing that it should be, of course, let's say she sparks an interest, then of course it's I in turn would have to, all right, am I interested? Do I want to get to know you also? So yeah, she making the first move. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. But then of course we're not saying that she's leading all the way. Just like you shared, it should be a two-sided something. You share your interest and I make a decision. Am I interested? And we get to know one another and it progress. Um, but again, without looking desperate women.
All right, Calvin.
Well, I was just about to say the extreme is actually, for me personally, would actually be unattractive in the sense of she is like pushing herself on me. For me personally, that would be unattractive to an extreme level. And if you look at the normal social convention, I consider the end goal in terms of marriage. But look at the girlfriend stage. Is the man that asks, well, most of the time I'd assume, is the man that asks the young lady to be his girlfriend. Is the man that asks the young lady for her hand in marriage. So you have that structure where the man is the asker rather than the askee, if you want to put it that way. You understand? So that's how I see it also.
Lovely. Kevin.
Yes. Well, I guess they basically that's covered most of the points. But honestly, I would say depending on how they pursue you. Because I mean, as they covered, they don't want to look desperate in a kind of way. But if you're pursuing, as I think Cassie mentioned, through floating or by lounge and stuff like that, hey, it's okay. But for some reason, this scenario just keep playing in my mind in terms of if you see an item that you're interested in, you don't have the money to buy, you will make the necessary sacrifices. You will work hard towards getting that item, and when you do get it, you are now able to cherish it because you know how hard you work towards it. You know the sacrifice you made, and I believe it's the same thing when the men pursue a woman because the amount of turn downs they get, the amount of rejects they get, when you do find this person, you'll be able to cherish them more. So I don't really have issue with the one pursuing, but also again is how to pursue and the methods used.
All right, ladies,
Yes,
different
sir.
men, different stroke. Yes, Jassy.
Counter question to Kevin. How you pursue then? Yeah, well, I'm trying to understand.
Sorry, how I pursue?
Yeah, well, how would you, yeah, pursue? If you say, correct me if I'm wrong, right? But from what I gathered from what you said is, let's say you were rejected a couple times. When you do get the one, you would cherish it more because you're putting more work or something like that, right? Along those lines, right?
Along those lines.
Right. So more than likely, you change the method or something to get the one, or you're doing the same thing over and over, and then, well, somebody fall.
Well, if you keep trying, you wouldn't be using the same method. Each method change. Each
Oh,
experience, you learn something, so you grow.
okay.
Right?
Because it was sounding to me like, so we just keep trying, and then when we get the sucker, that's the one now, but
No, no,
nah.
no, no. The
Okay.
method, the mindset, everything have to change. Yeah, they evolve.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah. Okay, cool. I just wanted to just understand.
No problem.
All right. So caution to the woman, to the women. It is what it is. She made a another point here. You know, we women should be careful having male best friends. My take is that sometimes the male best friend secretly likes her and tries to disrupt her relationship with someone else. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
that's true.
Now I'm
That's true.
saying something. Can I say something? Hello?
Go ahead.
Yes. You know, I have plenty of women friends, and they are not my age. And I sit down and people ask me, they tell me, oh, I thought she was your girl, different ways that you act with them. But the age as though the age is so high, you don't even see yourself in a relationship with those people. A lot of things come in, my sister, but based on those certain situations,
Factors. Yeah.
it just yeah.
All right. I hear you. I hear you. And concerning this question, Delmon, by the way, Delmon, welcome. Delmon said, run, run. That's a pursuit aspect, huh? Run, run, run. That is what most men will do. We were socialized to be the aggressor. Therefore, if a woman take up that role, we see her as too forward. Man, live for the chase. All right. So we have different views from different men coming in all directions. So um I guess it all depends, women. Just know how you do. Some women believe in shooting the shot. Um, I believe in the method of just you will know gestures. You will know how to act the conversations to have and maybe even some of the questions to well, I always like asking questions. So sometimes my questions is being vain. People just feel like just asking questions, right? Because that has been me all the time. I would be in a group. I just love it. Wasn't surprising that a talk show came out into it because I love asking questions. So sometimes I'm having male friends and I ask them questions and they don't even think a clue that Shibiki has any interest. She's just asking questions. And so sometimes long after, you become good friends, you're like, hey, I had a little question, and so what happened? Why you didn't say something? So why I had to say something? Like really? So I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, to say
Just
something.
just don't expect nobody to read your mind, Shibiki.
well, I'm learning that more and more. And, as I interact with more men, they'll be like, hey, you ladies have a problem with that. Don't expect people to read your mind. Sometimes you just have to learn to be direct. All right. And so Yakima asks
I
this
mean, and
interesting.
is that
Mhm. Go ahead,
I was,
Colvin.
I was just saying I was just saying it's an interesting perspective or scenario because can play a part in the sense that for me, in my younger days, no problem, there was something, but I wasn't really dating considering dating at the time. It wasn't really something on my current to-do list, I should say. So a young lady might feel away if I'm not giving her any attention, even though she is interested in me. And then some time pass, and then she sees me with somebody else. She would be like, so wait, something was wrong with me? No, nothing was wrong with you. It's just that at the time you were interested in me, I didn't have dating on my mind. And that's another way I see ladies can beat themselves up, and they can become resentful towards a young man that the resentment has no merit, because it's not that he wasn't interested in you because of you, but he wasn't interested in dating at the time.
True. So true. Yeah, that's a valid question. All right, so I'm seeing a lawyer question here. So Yakim is saying, how does, maybe we take two of you can give a comment on this. How does a woman's acting single differ from a man's acting single? How does a woman identify when a man is acting single? Or is it that only the woman must act while the man can simply be single?
That is like a 5-part question, yes? Wow.
Well, Yakim is a lawyer by profession, so I guess when you think about this questioning.
I wanna attempt to answer it, but I feel I had to read over this. Yeah. That's all.
All right, guys. So while you ponder on that, guys.
All right.
All right, go ahead, Tasim.
Mm-hmm. No. Go ahead. Because Yakima is her name, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So Yakima, I think we had to have a one-on-one discussion there, because it will be. I need to find out some sub points to the different questions now. But all right, just off the bat. All right, men and women are different. I think your question, you could correct me if I'm wrong. I think your question is sort of to state that we can act single the same. I don't know, the same way, and that's why you're asking for the clarification, something like that. How does a woman identify when a man is acting single? That one difficult, because some men has been in relationships acting single now. So kind of
too many.
Okay, all right. I will answer it for me. All right. Okay. Yeah, I think that is the safest way to answer it. All right. So all right, we start over. So how does a woman's acting single differ from a man's acting single? So in my experience, a woman's acting single would be the same choosing signals I would have mentioned before, right? Let's say, for example, let's say Shabiki was in a relationship couple months ago, right? And Shabiki was always posting her man. He's all over her Facebook, IG, whatnot, and then he just disappeared, right? And not only disappears now, but Shabiki past the stage where Shabiki, I'm not saying this is you, that's an example.
No.
Right?
That's okay.
So Shabiki past the stage where sending all the depressive, inspirational stuff. Yeah. I think I have a delay. Yeah.
No, you go ahead.
Do I have a delay?
No, I'm hearing you quite well.
Okay, cool. All right, all right, yes. Right. So basically what I'm saying is when you see something like that stops for a woman who's accustomed, sharing her life with media, to me, from the moment that stopped for period of time, especially when she usually posts stuff, let's say it's weekly, bi-weekly, she and her babe, and then for months you didn't see it, to me, that is a clear sign she's single, right? Because it are some women who will have their whole man, but they post him like maybe once a year and these kind of things, those women you would never really know now unless you approach them. So that is one example of a woman acting single. So when her usual, I don't know, style or usual character changes, when like her in relationship character changes drastically, you have an idea that this person is single now. For a man now, I'd use myself because I think I just share all my girlfriends. Not saying I have plenty girlfriends. I mean like when I'm in a relationship one by one. I am kind of expressive, so I would do the woman crush Wednesday and this kind of thing, right? So in my case, it will be a little similar. When you see that stuff for a while, it's not even we fall out. So even if we fall out, I'll still post. But it's more that I don't want to really be associated with her now. And then again too, if you're attractive, I will message you. So you wouldn't necessarily, your first thought will be like, wait, when Jassy have a girlfriend? What not, but no. Jassy now stink man now. So if he message you like that, you know that means yes, he is single. Now the second part, how does a woman identify? Right. By what he does. Right? So how he pursues you, how he acts with other women, you would have an idea that like, single and ready to mingle now. And is it that only a woman must act while a man can simply be single? Well, to me, when a woman have to act single is when she has the resting bee face now, when she just stuck up all the time and this kind of way. So you want a man, but you vex that no man wants you. So you're not really putting yourself in a position to get one now. So that is where the term act to me. But you should not act single. If you're single, you're single. If you take on, you take on. So it's not Hollywood. It's not that complicated, So that is just, I hope I kind of answer your question, Yakima.
Thank you very much, Jassy. I don't know, anybody else, any one of the other men, you have anything to say on it? If not, we'll just move to our next question.
If I would add anything, I don't know if Yakima asked a question where she wants to find out if the man is single without asking. The thing is, that's not a possibility. There some level of involvement on your part in trying to find out must be there. So the question seems as if, how do I find out if he's single without me asking or putting in an effort? But to answer further, I would say a single man will be doing the same thing as I said a single woman will be doing, which is living in their purpose, fulfilling the God-given ministry, and doing what God requires of them in terms of ministry focus. Now, if you're in an interaction with that young man, a good one anyways, if he is in a relationship, he would say that he's in a relationship, even if it's not directly. I'm talking about a good manner because we're discussing what should be, right? We're discussing not what should be, not what people tend to do. Yeah. So what should happen is he will what should happen is that man should express that he is in a committed relationship. Wherever he is, he should be able to profess that and make that abundantly clear.
Yep, I love that. I love it. Yeah, thank you very much to both of you, Jassy and Colville, for that question. And ladies, another thing too, you can just simply, I get up because I like asking questions, as I said before. So for me, I wouldn't come up and ask Colville, are you single? Like, no, I would not say that. You can have conversational message like, Jassy, how is you? How are you and your girlfriend going? How things? So during the course of a conversation, I'm not coming off the block and the first thing I come and ask you, how you and your girlfriend? If I'm not seeing Jassy post, well, Jassy and I have been friends, and it's like, I know Jassy used to post. And yeah. So when I saw Jassy stop posting, and eventually we had a conversation, I'm like, really, you're single now? That was like my reaction. But then during the course of conversation, ladies, you can ask how he, and if you're unsure, ask the question. Nobody's gonna ask, well, men especially, they will hardly ask you, but why are you asking me that question though? depending on how the conversation continues after, then they might ask, but okay, how come you just come up to ask me that question? If they themselves trying to feel out too. So ladies, come on, man, we're smart. We have our different ways of doing it. All right, so Shalana Park, welcome to you. So Shalana is saying,
And I don't think anybody has mentioned it. Check your friends, ask your friends.
true.
Yeah, I was
ask
going to
people,
say that.
people.
Yeah.
What about this girl, boy? You know about her, what church she goes, is she in a
Yep.
relationship? What do you know?
So I
I've
just do
been
that.
Checks,
through that
man.
a
Come
lot.
on.
Yeah, I just do that. And if I can't find out about it, something wrong. So yeah.
Yeah, once you ask your close friends around, and women have a way in as much. For me, I don't mind being public with guys, but I have to be certain. My status, I always say, okay, I would, if I'm in a relationship and in a serious relationship, yeah, I may post a guy if I'm in a relationship with him. Not this big regular period of time, but I will post him. But Facebook is a no for me. I see Facebook as maybe engagement, definitely marriage. To post a man on Facebook, that's just me, right? If he wants to post me and tag me all the while during the relationship, I don't have a problem. And that came about because of, past relationships. So like, yeah, it's like, I post this guy, my friends know about this, and this relationship ended, and then you're feeling stupid. I don't know if you men feel that, but then as a woman, you feel like, really? I made that guy so public and we are no longer together. So because of that, now it put me now in a reserve mode that, hey, I have to be certain. My close friends around, if you ask them, they are going to know whether I'm in a relationship or not. But if they don't know if I'm in a relationship, something is wrong. Definitely. Maybe I really don't like the guy. But because I am not going to be secretive with my friends and my immediate family home, they got to know. Right? So
Yeah.
ladies, we got to be wise.
Just something. Don't want to go off topic too much. But just to point out something you said in your rhetoric, you said, so if I'm in a serious relationship, yada yada yada, XYZ. I often ask myself, what do young people talk? What do young people mean when they say serious relationship? What is a relationship that is not serious? Are they just flexing?
Yeah.
Good question.
I don't think
People like
Christian
to play
I don't
game.
think Christian people should be in a relationship that is not serious. Like, what does a relationship that is not serious entail? I don't.
I've come out to
And
waste
it's just
time.
that it just seems like, we pick up waste style like a ship without a sail. We just landing. We just flexing.
I
We
think
have
it's
no
a
direction.
term.
We just together chilling. So I'm just saying, sometimes we pick up the rhetoric of the world, and sometimes we don't realize what we're saying. And it's something I've noticed before with that term. Like, I don't know how you can be in a relationship and not be serious.
And you're not serious.
At
I
least
get
for
you.
me.
It's just a cliche term that we have been using over time to say, okay, we in a committed relationship with this person, because you might be getting to know somebody, right? And you going out, you dating, everybody know you guys getting to know each other. But then you may just agree with a relationship, but in your mind, you're still getting to know that person. So you don't really want to publicize and say, hey, yeah, I'm in a committed relationship. So when you say, for me too, when I use the word serious, that man he's in contact with my family, or he went home by me. If I haven't carried you home by me,
Hard
it
luck.
means that I am in a relationship with you, but yes, I'm committed to you, because I don't deal with two persons at the same time once I'm in a committed relationship. But then at the same time, when my parents are going to get to know you, it means that I know for a fact that I would want to take this another step forward. If the guy asks me, whether it be engagement, whether it be whatever, I am definitely going to say yes. But you're not seeing my parents. You just meet me 1 month, 2 months. What are you going home by me for? For what? And then it ends? Nah.
Okay,
nah.
I could accept that. Basically saying
Thank you
there's
very
levels
much.
to the ship.
I have a question.
Yamin, just now, Jassy, Yamin has a
I
question.
don't know how you come
Yeah.
Point.
What are the acts in dating? I really want to know exactly what are the acts in dating? What are you doing in dating? I need to be clear on that.
Yeah, that's a question that we can redirect to you. What do you do in dating? You get to know people,
Well,
right?
get to know people. Okay. Well, not get to know people only, but there are many other things that you do in dating. So they have people with different level of what they do. So I'm just
Mhm.
asking, based on your experiences, what are the acts in dating?
All right, I guess two gentlemen, you can just maybe answer based on your opinion, or is the question directly to me as a woman?
As a woman, yeah.
Oh. All right, let me just quickly answer this. So yeah, I mean, for me, when I'm getting to know somebody, of course, I like going out. So, but my going out doesn't necessarily means money have to be spent. So I'm extremely adventurous. Let's go on hikes. Let's just go and look over wherever place I am. You know, let's just have an afternoon chill. So it depends on the person I am dating, and that will determine my level of activities. Because I may like some certain
I
stuff, the
don't
mom may not like it, and there's a level of compromise.
I don't see myself going on a date with a lady and don't spend out of my pocket. I see myself as a greedy guy.
All right, start.
All right, just stop right there. We have a question like that coming up. Save that comment there for a moment, because I don't want to decipher what I don't think it is. So let's go to the next question, gentlemen. So all right, as Yamin raised that, let's take that. So here's the question, gentle people. If you take a woman on a date, would you consider it out of place if she decides to pay the bill or pay part of it?
Yeah. Yeah, well, to explain that too.
Yeah, of course.
All right. Let me talk for myself. If I'm not interested in you, yeah, you paying for that date, 100%. But
Hold
if
on,
I'm,
just before, no, hold on. Let me just get it clear. So, if you're not interested in her, she's paying for it. Is it that she asks you out or you ask her out?
yeah, she asked me out. Yeah.
Okay,
That's
okay.
that's a different question, Shubiki. That's a different question.
Yeah, no, because why I asked that question? Because he said, okay, yeah, if I'm not interested, she pays. So I'm wondering if
No.
he
Okay.
asks
All
her
right. No.
out.
All right. If you take, all right. Okay. Once I ask her out, right. Once I ask her out, I'm paying. Right. So that is the bottom line. To me,
Okay.
50-50 comes in. Yeah. If she asks me out, if I was reluctant to go, like she was nagging this kind of way, that kind of way, then I will split the bill. But if I ask her out, I'll pay for everything. Just to be order, no steak and them kind of thing, you know. But I'll pay for it and this kind of stuff there. So I think is in my opinion, this 50-50 thing is nonsense. I think we should, in my opinion, again, we should be the ones putting the bills when it comes to those kind of things. Because my opinion, again, I have to say this, but I know I might get real stick. But in my opinion, again, my philosophy behind when I do get married is if I cannot pay 90 or 80% of the bills with my salary, why I getting married for now? Because to me that is stress. Because let's just say after 2 kids or something, my wife grows attached and she realized that the best person, which I also believe the best person who could take care of the kids is her, and she wants to quit her job now. If I was relying on this 50-50 thing now, I can't tell her to change her mind from that, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Because at the end of the day, women, regardless of what feminists may say and whatnot, women natural role is being the caregiver to the family. So if a woman comes to that point after she see her son or daughter or whatnot, that she wants to do this, I as the man supposed to be ready to support that and not being like, wait boy, we had to tighten we belt, we had to cut down from certain things that became necessities now, you know? So I always go with that approach, 80 to 90% must be covered by me. Because in my head, the only thing my wife should pay for is really groceries, you know, and the savings will be done well with whatever she's making and with what I have. So I believe in covering everything. That's just me. I just did. That's just me. All you do use my answer. If that's not all you do feel bad, right? Everybody different. There's 5 guys here, so that 5 different opinions.
All right, so just before we take Yamin,
Now-
members of the audience, just now Yamin, members of the audience, I want you to put a comment. I've seen a lot of persons putting comment on it. If you're viewing this, whether you're viewing on YouTube and Facebook, put your comment to this particular question. I've seen a lot of males commented already. Females, put your comments, what you think about it. Let's hear what are your views. All right, go right ahead, Yamin.
Well, I'm as a man, I don't believe in spite of I not interested in the lady, I see myself like a guy. You know, I have sisters. I feel a kind of way, you know, I don't like treating ladies bad. No matter if I'm not interested in you, I will still treat you nice. But you know, there's a level to every single thing. You understand me? No matter if I don't like you, I'm not attracted to you, I will still treat you nice because I have respect for ladies. I have respect for, you know, based on the way that I'm raised up and, you know, the love I have for my mom, my sister, the way that I feel, you know, I don't like to hurt any lady, you understand, no matter what it is. I'm just, and I don't see myself, you know, I see, you know, giving to the lady, you know, taking the responsibility. I would, since the lady is a lady with ambition and she is pushing herself, that is the kind of lady I would like. I don't say I don't have to hold my responsibility. I'm holding my responsibility, but you have to be going with the flow. That is how I see it. And the lady has to be a woman standing up for God. She has to be a godly lady. She has to, you know, there are many things that I can say, but I just give it to that.
So Yamin, so definitely you are going to pay for her. I just want to get that part clear.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So yeah, man, backtrack there. I thought the man was no paying nothing.
He greedy, right? So that's what I wanted to know. Why, you know? All right.
So I would start by saying, in the last program, I spoke to the men about developing self. And one of the things I spoke about was your financial literacy. I think if you're dating young man, you should have your budget of what you want to spend on dating. And you should not be placed in a position where you go outside of that budget because you're setting up yourself, your future, for your future wife. One of the we said in the intro that I love to listen to podcasts, and one of the podcast guys that I listen to, his name is Anthony O'Neill. I should check his podcast out. It's called The Table. He says you don't want to put your wife in a bad position because they refuse to tell people you want dating no. So you might have to tell people you're just dating, we can't go there because we could afford this, I could afford this, I could afford this. And then after your dating phase, then you could be able to afford or spend more because that person probably could be right. So what I'm saying is have a budget and stick to it, and don't go outside your budget for somebody who well, for anybody actually. Have a budget and stick to it. Something else I was saying, I was going to, yes, the last program I'm sharing something a little personal now. The last program when I was discussing this with a group of female friends of mine, this whole dating thing. I was telling them, wait boy, I need to set a budget for dating next year. That's what I was telling them, right? And they were in the room, all of us are friends, they asked me the question about paying for a date. And I basically told them I want to pay all the time, right? I told them I would want to pay all the time. if I take it out, I would want to pay all the time. So they told me, this is what they told me. They told me any good young lady. And there's also a difference in my head in terms of
you dropped. That line dropped.
Oh,
any good young lady.
What they told me, they said it's not me. My friends told me any good young lady wouldn't make me pay all the time. Basically, that's what they told me.
Okay.
So I
That's
said,
true.
so in my mind, I said okay, but in my
I'll say
mind, I also have a differentiation between dating and between when you become my girlfriend.
Yeah.
When we're dating, I ask you out. I have every intention of paying. If you ask me out when we're still in the dating phase, even if you said you're going to pay, I probably gonna still look at my budget and plan to spend still and even contribute, even if she's the one that says she's gonna pay. Now, if you become my girlfriend now, that's a whole different ballgame. I would be like, listen, because you're expected to be a little closer when your girlfriend is like, as I said, within the budget. You could be more like, listen, if she wants to go somewhere, you could be honest with her and be like, hey, listen, I don't, babes, I don't have the money. Can't do that right now.
That's the point.
Understand? Because you could be a little bit more freeing, I should say, and a little bit more. You find the right adjective, but once you're on that commitment of girlfriend, in my opinion, it's different than if you're just casually dating. That's just my opinion. But I saw Jassy was enlightened by the point that the young ladies told me any good young lady wouldn't let me pay all the time. So cool.
I have my bit to share on that, but let me take Kevin and then we take Gavin. Diamond, so Diamond, just before guys, so Diamond is saying, she said, I wish I could call in and leave my comment. Diamond, if you really want to comment, I could put the link there. You give your comment, you come in the room with the guys, give your comment, and leave. We don't have a problem with that tonight. So let me know if you up for that. Karen Springer, welcome to you. So anyway, let me don't go to audience comments as yet. Orange James, welcome. Snowbite 2, welcome to you guys. Those of you who are on YouTube, remember to like the video, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. You can't afford to be missing these weekly programs. All right, let's see Troy with Free there. Welcome to you, Troy. All right, great. So let's go to Kevin. What's your say on this?
All right. So if I'm asking you out on a date, it means that I'm going to plan everything out from beginning to the end, right? So it obviously I'll be paying, but suppose now, sometimes when you're trying to leave a good impression on someone, you intend to go a little too far and spend a little too much, right? So if then she does decide to pay, it's okay. But again, it's all depending on how she goes about doing it.
All right. All depends on how she goes about it. All right. I can't wait to give my comments on this. Go right ahead. Go right ahead, Kevin.
So I would say yes to the question, and this is why. Because I mean, women think differently, and we need to be realistic about this. While some people still believe in chivalrous, traditions, and I came across this word, this phrase, benevolent sexism, where some women believe that women must be dependent, and it's the man's positions to do certain things. We have other women who would not agree with this. So although I invite you on a date, I intend to pay for you. Let's say you now, because of your conviction or whatever, decides that, all right, I think I should pay, or I would appreciate to help, then I would allow you to, because I think I still need to respect that female's position or perspective. Because I have a lot of female friends, and they've shared this position, and it's more deep than who pays the bill. The reality of this whole benevolent sexism thing is beyond who pays the bill. Simple things like holding the umbrella. Some women don't appreciate men holding the umbrella. I can't hold it myself. I can't pay the bill too. You
Yeah.
understand? So we gotta be real with this. So that's my take on it. Of course, if I plan on taking you out, then I would budget, I would plan, but I still would respect your conviction on it. That's just my take on it. But of course, if you want to take me on a date, I could be pampered too. I mean, I know about nice things. So yeah, that's my take on it. My perspective might be a bit different because I know men would feel, guilty and the whole ego situation. But yeah, I could be pampered too.
All right. All right.
It
So
would be
guys,
nice.
you
It
ready
would
for
be nice to hear it would be nice to hear the modern female take on that, in the sense of, if a man assertively says, "You're not paying, I'm gonna cover everything," how does that make her, feel?
Can I talk now as a modern female representing the females? I don't know. Again, I am speaking. I may not be representing no Colwyn Freeze. No, I may not be representing all the women, but I know this particular conversation is something we had last week after our "Where is my groom" topic. We had this post talk on this particular question. My take on this here: if you ask me out on a date, I don't mind where you may ask me out. Okay, Shibiki, let's go on a date. No problem. Where are we going? You might say, okay, I'm going XYZ place, or you may give me the option. Don't give me the option to choose a place and you know you can't afford it. Take me and you're taking me on a date. You carry me to a place where you can afford what you can afford. That thing turns me off because you can, and I guess that turn off came from my experience. You can't ask me where I want to go. When I reach to where I want to go, and when we ordering, you don't have enough money, but you ask me to go on a date. So if you can, like the guys would have mentioned budgeting, you know your budget is only ice cream this week. Tell me, okay, let's go to ice cream place. If you know you have a $200 TT budget, fine, no problem. Carry me to a food place. I don't eat chicken, so you can't carry me KFC. You can't carry me Royal Castle. I'm one of the most expensive person where food is concerned. So if the guy can't afford it, better you say, okay, Shibiki, let's have a picnic. You buy a bag of bread. I'm gonna make the sandwich, or I could even make something. The other
I have a
aspect of it,
request. When you finish, I have a request.
okay. The other aspect of it, as I said, every date is not necessarily a food date. I can cook, so I can prepare stuff, right? But because of the fact that I've interacted with so many men and with this ego and all of those things, I am very, very careful of how. If a man asks me on a date, I'm not gonna say to him, "You want me to cook? Let me cook something and let's carry." Like, no, that might be insulting to a man, because is it that you're thinking that I can't afford you, that I can't afford to take you out? So I am very cautious in that approach. As it relates to this particular question, so when it comes to paying the bills, Mr. Man, you took me out. I don't have a problem. You pay the bill. If Colville comes to me and says, "Shibiki, girl, I really want us to go, but I don't have money," I don't care. I am going to pay that bill. I don't have a problem. You know why? He shared it with me beforehand. So I'll be like, hey, I get $100, I have a $200, no problem. I think this is what we can afford. Which place do you think might be the best, right? So in that case, I would pay half, I would pay the entire bill. It doesn't matter because you spoke to me before. But not when we reach that place and you can't afford it. Then you mentioning that to me, and thank God that he teach me about vex money. So most times I carried my money, even if I have to beg a friend to borrow that money. I always have money on me on any date with any man. The other aspect of it, and it's a passionate topic, that's why I'm talking so much, right? The other aspect of it, I believe, as Gavin would have rightly said, men deserve pampering. I believe in carrying my man out. So if I know, okay, listen, he has been carrying me out all the time. Here, what, honey? I have this money. Let's go out. We're going on a dinner, or we're going on a surprise date. If I'm not driving and he's driving, and say, hey, we're going XYZ location. I believe in those aspects of things. But all in all, these things can only be accomplished based on communication. But women, I think sometimes you see this feministic movement and this kind of this independent mentality. Just this independent mentality that we have to prove a point to a man that we are independent on a date. Listen, ladies, we need to change that, because some of us, when we get married, that same man, we want him to do X, Y, and Z, and no way in dating we were playing girlfriend, he might expect that same independence in your marriage. So let's be very careful with the level that we do things. All right, I think I've spoken enough.
my request.
You said you
Go
give
ahead.
based on your expression and the way you spoke. I believe I believe in bringing my man out. Meaning, when I hear someone speak like I believe in bringing my man out, it means that is your man. He's already. Are you married at the time, or you still dating?
Just expression, right? We're in a relationship. We're in a committed relationship. Girlfriend and boyfriend relationship. Courting relationship,
Okay,
right?
because
So maybe I should use the
I was
lighter
just
term. The lighter term, boyfriend. Taking my boyfriend out. I think maybe it sounds a little more appropriate to the Adventist ears. Anyway, Colville, as you're saying with your
that's
request.
My request. My request
the
is to put up Yakima had a question there. She has a question there. I think the question is how your financial situation with your girlfriend, how can a date impact your financial standing with your future wife? Maybe the men should take the initiative and recommend a date for you. Right. So
That's the point.
the it's not so much a date like a single date, but it has to do with overspending. If you're taking too much of your money and you're trying to impress the young lady, you're not responsible. You're trying to impress the young lady, you take it to the most expensive places, and you dwindle your budget. Monies that you could have probably invested into something that would create more money, that is gonna hinder it's gonna hinder you from doing that. And that investment is monies that you could have had so that you could be able to spend on your future wife.
That's
So
right.
I hope that answers your question. So it has to do with not overspending in your dating phase, because you want to take your money, your budget well, take your money and invest it in areas so that when I get married, because of the choices I would have made in the dating phase, I can now splurge a little bit more on my wife.
Yeah, I love that. And listen to me, gentlemen. If you're dating a girl and you can't tell this girl that, hey, I really don't have money for us to go XYZ. Something is wrong. Maybe she's not the person for you, because it means it may prove to be that she may be an extremely materialistic person. To even tell
Yep.
her you don't have enough money to take her out, and she's because you're afraid of her getting angry, bro, run,
You
run.
know, I once saw the comedian Kibo, Trinidad and comedian. Kibo said you have to date on a curve. You know, you start off at a certain place in terms of expenses, how much money you spend. Sometimes you go up, special occasion, but sometimes you go under. So
Yeah, I agree
it's
with
all about
that.
that curve.
Yeah,
Understand?
but I
Within
believe
your
the
budget.
communication. Yeah, you must
Communication
have
is
that
important.
communication process as it relates to that. All right, let's go to the audience. I think we have taken you guys enough. Let's go to the audience and hear what they have to say about this particular. And if you realize, this is one of the questions that had the most comments coming in, because I think it's a twofold question that people always have a debate over. Let me see. Where do I start from? Um, okay. So Oren said he's taking the bill, right? Mikhail said the bills are shared after marriage. Um, Mark, acts or not, acts or no acts, I pay in. Be a man, you. um, let me see. Shalana said this. If she's not interested in you, she's going to pay. So you ask her out, she accepted to be out, but if she knows she's not interested in you, she's going to pay her bill. All right. So Oren said again, either way, it doesn't matter. He's taking the bills. Let me see, Mikhail. Oh,
I
of
want to
course.
put
Go ahead.
I want to put on my consent hat just for a second.
Okay, sure.
You know, I getting a lot of macho responses from the men. You know, I'm taking the bill, I prefer it, I'll do everything. It is very important that you leave space to be vulnerable. And that, as you said before, if you can't express that I can't afford it this week, I can't afford it this month, or
Yeah.
that's a very bad place to be in, because if you end up marrying that person, if you lose your job and you're not bringing any finances to
What?
the home,
One show.
that is going to mash you up, because you have never been in the position where you can voice that and be vulnerable and say,
Yeah.
All right. Colwyn has gone there for us. So Mikael said he will initiate to pay the bill. No, he will initiate, but if she offers, sis, go ahead. That's
Right.
Gavin's viewpoint. Yes, go ahead, Colvin.
So I was saying, make sure you practice that vulnerability to a certain extent in your dating phase, because a lot of our masculine identity is tied up in our provision, what we could provide for our home.
True.
And men will get depressed, they will get stressed out, they will have a lot of anxiety if they lose their job and they see that they can't provide, because providing is part of what makes us feel like a man. So all the macho answers that I'm seeing, you know, I'll take care of the bill. Yes, that is good. Be that guy that wants to provide and for his wife and his family. That is good, yes. But also remember, you also have to be in a space, in a mindset that I am not defined solely by my provision. Less an opportunity. Less I reach on hard times where I am now in a depressive state because I can't fulfill this specific thing. You understand? So it's good, you know, good to be the macho side, but I'm saying leave room for the vulnerability, because I'm sure all of us could attest to that. We've seen it before. it's a very, 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 very important thing that we need to be mindful of.
All right. Nice. I'm loving it. So let me go back to these comments. So Ryan Dodson said, if I asked you out on a date, I would pay for it. I noticed Canelo is agreeing with the Amin's point when he said he's very supportive to women. He will do whatever. Snowbite too said guys should be a gentleman whether or not they are dating a young lady, especially if they're interested in her too. It's unfortunate that charity, I guess that's what she wanted there. Charity doesn't or hardly exist. Oren, and there's a different people, different views. Because here Oren says again, do not go on a date if you keep thinking about spending. And the thing about it, I want to establish for to men here, for some of us women who are not materialistic, you know what it is to go with a guy. If you know, another thing to gentlemen, if you know you don't really want to, it's not, you don't want the expensive date, do a nice 3-4 o'clock hour. The woman, or do after lunch when you know she eat, but make it clear, hey, eat first and then we're gonna go out, right? No, I prefer openness. I agree with anybody who can be so open. But the point is, gentlemen, we women like, well, some of us, because all of us are different, but some of us, there's nothing like just going and just sitting and just looking at the ocean, or going to the beach, or you just take his water, a bottle of gin, maybe just a couple snacks, and you just have a nice beach time. Couple hours you spend. Everything is not always about money. And sometimes some men get so frustrated knowing the fact that they can't afford it, they don't have much, and because of that, they kind of be closing. They are always afraid of women. They're always afraid of carrying them out. Listen, bro, if you really and truly get to know some of us, you will realize we don't want you broke. We got to know that you can take care of us, right? You must get a job. But if you are doing things, you're goal oriented, and we see that, hey, this guy wants his money to do X, Y, Z, even if it's $20 or $40, I'm looking at TT currency, by the way, for those of you who are viewing. You spend on us, we are truly going to appreciate the little gesture. So don't always think it's about money. So because you don't have it, you are afraid to approach. Come on, get out of that mindset. If she is always about money, just get away from her. That's just my thoughts on that.
Yeah, can you sing a song about them, so you know? But
Oh yeah.
Vicky, and we also need to remind the female that dating is not hitting the jackpot, right?
True. Oh yeah. You talk that again. You talk it so quietly. Can you repeat that more loudly? Ladies, dating is not hitting the jackpot. Some of us, we go on date and we feel this is our husband. I mean, guilty as charged. For the average woman, sometimes we dating a guy and we just feel like this is the one. Because we women get so sometimes emotionally entangled, connected, whatever you want to call it, right? So dating is not hitting the jackpot. Leave your options open. If you even if you're in a committed relationship, still
Who said
while
that?
no. If you're in a committed relationship, while you want with everything, Jassy, for this to lead to marriage, pray. Just keep praying. Don't reach to up to the point of if it doesn't work into marriage, you are so devastated, you're depressed for a long period of time, and all sort of things happening. And you're calling out to me on that one. Listen, man, when you talk to the guys, Kevin, Gavin, Colville, you're dating women, you want to marry them, but when it doesn't work out, after a month you don't brush off and you're ready to go again. We women, it sometimes takes us years to
Wow.
brush off, and that is how we are so different. And that is why, as ladies, that's why I love the point, you haven't hit the jackpot. And I would even go to further and say, even sometimes in courtship, you still have not even hit the jackpot. Things happen, situations change, people change. And until we realize that, some of the hurts and the pains that we harbor and we can't get rid of certain baggages, it will not happen if we realize that very early. All right. Let me just see if there's an important comment that I should put up. Yeah, Dr. Shaw, exactly. How about packing a shared picnic lunch when going on a hike? For me, this is so romantic. Like, look at that. Look at that. You know? So, guys, it's not always about, yeah, and I like this is another nice one. Sometimes you just need to go to the park for an afternoon stroll. No money is involved there, you know. So it's different, and it's simple things, you know, we can do. Okay, all right, let me see any more. All right, let's go to our next question, gentlemen, because quickly coming to a close, we need to wrap up. We only have about 15 minutes remaining, so let's see how fast we can do this. So women we had this question last week to the women, so we just want to hear the men's point of view on this. Women generally are the ones to give the final say as it relates to a relationship. Are you ever afraid of being rejected? And again, this is from your personal view. Are you ever afraid of being rejected?
Nah. Well, I say no. Rejection. Okay. I can't exactly relate, but to me, if you were rejected, keep trying again. At the end of the day, is 7 billion people on the planet, and 3 billion is men. So if you get rejected, why you worried? It have more women than men out there. So a woman rejecting you, especially if you're a quality man, and not if you feel your quality and you're not, but if you actually, you know, forget, I think it's Ephesians, man. I can't remember the text. But anyway, if you're that guy, you wouldn't really get rejection. But if you do get rejection, you could always bounce back. Yeah, the world doesn't end at your crush. Because I can tell you something. The one time I could say I get rejected. Like I was kinda, I didn't know how to function now because it was a new experience, rejection. And I honestly at that time I actually prayed about it because I was seeing this person checked off all my list. This was my type, you know, the one, this, that, and she just brushed me aside. But funny enough, about just roughly 4 to 5 years later, um, I actually got the answer to my prayer, not in getting through with her, but in why I didn't get through now. And it was really just the Lord protecting me from something that may have, I don't know, destroyed me mentally now. So sometimes, I don't know, rejection could be a blessing from the Lord, and I don't think anybody should be afraid of being rejected. Like for both men or women, you shouldn't be afraid of rejection. I mean, maybe women have a time limit on it, but that's an extra topic altogether. But yeah,
Just
You finished, Jesse?
yeah. Go ahead.
uh,
I was going to. Sorry for. I don't know if I happened on the wrong point, but the first part of the question says women generally are the ones to give the final say as it relates to a relationship. What does that mean?
Because remember, a guy asks us, we're not looking at a woman pursuing a man, but if he comes,
Chibiki.
if he comes, we're like, yes or no. When it comes to relationship, you guys are the pursuer. We're the ones who have to say yes or no, whether we want to be with you, whether we want to date you, whatever the case might be, right? So that is generally it.
Mm-hmm.
So the final say is the context of the yes. Okay, sure. I would be happy to get to know you too. The yes. Okay, sure. We can go on a date. The yes. Yes, I'm gonna be your girlfriend. The yes, I do. I accept your proposal. So all of these scenarios, we know the lady, she has at any point in time, she could be the one to say, hey, no, even to the point of engagement, to say, no, I'm not doing this. Because you're the ones keep constantly pursuing during the course of the process.
okay.
You know, so surprisingly, even though as the question is in the box stops with the women, it's also interesting to note that men are actually the ones who control who gets into relationship, because we're the ones that ask.
That's
Yeah.
right.
We're the one that propose.
Yeah,
So
and
even though
control marriage too.
even though she's the one that ultimately says yes or no, because of the same rejection topic and because of the social societal norm, men are the ones who control to get into relationship because we're the one that asks. We're the one who decides who gets married because we're the ones that ask.
That's
In
right.
terms of me being afraid of rejection, I would say no. I think men and women are different. We process things differently. I think from ever since the playground, as little children, we get rejected, boys. So it's
Yeah.
just like we and you kind of answered the question just now when you said after a relationship, a month could pass and the man already move on and the woman takes years to get over it, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think our brains are different, and
So,
men in general can handle rejection, in my opinion, a little better than females. And it goes for me if I'm answering on a personal level.
Yep.
I
Yeah.
think we have the mentality of, okay, things will walk over to you.
Yeah,
Not
on to the
interested.
next.
Next.
Yeah, on to the next.
Because how you guys can keep going on to the next, we women don't have, unless you're a real aggressive woman, we women don't have that alternative to say, hey, man, this guy don't work out, I'm gonna go to the next guy and ask the next guy, or I'm gonna go to we don't have that. We just have to wait and think about ways of maybe showing gestures, think about this, think about if I tell you what will be the
Go with the
repercussion.
flow. Go with
So
the flow.
all
And I
of
think
those,
and I tell you what contributes to that is women, like, if they have a list, it's so long. So when they meet somebody that fulfills so much requirements that they have, it's like, oh gosh, but I lost this big major thing. When guys, we just like, we want 3 simple things, and after we get those 3 simple things, it's like, okay, we could
remind us about the 3 simple
we
things.
could continue. 3 simple things. You're attractive to them. They're a nice person, like generally nice to people around them, and they could hold a good conversation.
Okay.
Yeah, to
Just
me,
watch it like, boy, you forget one main important one.
that's not a PG too.
What?
Yeah, what? No, Calvin, more or less, the nail on the head there.
We would assume the God factor. That's our assumption.
Yeah.
This is a Christian community, so we would assume they walking in Christ, and that's a given.
Let's hear Yamin, Kevin, and Gavin on this one here.
all right. So in terms of being rejected, right? I would say at first yes, because that was like what by I think it was primary school or secondary, something like that. When I had this crush on this person, I think their friend found out and started making fun of her, and the rejection wasn't really nice, right? It was hard. So I felt that. But based on what I had mentioned earlier on, it's it's not being rejected, it's what you do when you get rejected, the outcome. Are you going to remain rejected? Are you going back into a shell and just feel, what, dating's not for me, I'm going to stay single for the rest of my life? What are you going to do next? Are you going to take that and use it as a stepping stool and go forward and keep trying to develop yourself? So it's what you do afterwards. But being rejected from the starting, it will be tough, but after a while, it comes second nature.
Oh yeah.
And men could do that, but women, stop shooting the shot, stop shooting inches, stop trying to make the first move. After one rejection they had in primary school,
It's
you see
not
how the
an
brain
easy
is
road.
different for men and women.
That is true,
It's not
Yamin.
an easy road. It's not an easy road. Sometimes when you hear the song "Cowboys Don't Cry and Heroes Don't Die," it's here in the real world. It's not anything easy at all. It's not easy at all. But sometimes based on what you see, what you feel already, sometimes you be afraid to be rejected. It's very, very tough, and your heart is hurting. It's, oh boy, I don't even want to talk about it because I'm afraid.
All right, Gavin.
All right. So the fear of rejection, it's quite common. Probably if I was asked this question when I was a bit young, I'd probably say definitely yes. But for now, and I'll share why, the answer might be no. Um, this is something I hate doing. Um, so if I ever have to, I'll try to be as pleasant as possible, share my side, my real reasons why. Don't beat around the bush. Um, but I want to talk to the guys listening, and even to the females. Remember, this is part of life. Rejection, it's common, it's just part of life. Sometimes it gets awkward. Let's say you have to see this person every day after that, after shooting your shot, or the person just openly reject you when you're embarrassed and all these things. These things happen. Persons looking on might say, oh, you can get over the man, yeah, you can move on. But it takes time. You must be able to learn from these experiences, like I think Kevin was saying, or somebody, learn from these experiences for next time. And kings, just remember your words, because I think that's something that I would say now that changes my answer. Know your words. I mean, don't. We might. It can be difficult. The reality is, it can be difficult. You feeling that I'm ain't good for nobody. These are the things, but just know your worth and keep things into perspective. Just try not to go on the negative side of things. And a quick note: ghosting is messy. So communication is key. You're not feeling this person, just don't ghost them and have the person wondering. Just talk, yeah, you know
That's
what, this
right.
is not working. Let's just quit it before we hurt one another. So people, ghosting is messy. I would leave that with you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And I love that. I love it.
I
I
wish
love
I
it.
was.
I love it.
Let's want to share.
I
Yeah.
wish I was. I wish I had access on the program last week with the ladies. If they can accept somebody they rejected years earlier.
Yeah. Why not? What grounds we rejected them early on? We can reject them on the grounds that we were not ready for a relationship. We can reject them on the grounds that they're not mature enough. But then sometimes you meet with guys after a few years and you're like, you're so different now. So if he asks, you will accept. So it depends on the ground you would have rejected them on. What's up?
Well, I have to go now. The team is calling me there. So thank you so much for inviting me again.
Yeah,
I would
it
catch
was a
the
pleasure to have
whatever
you.
ending you guys do on the YouTube link. So thank you so much for having me, and you guys enjoy the rest of it.
Thank you so much, Colvin, for being
Yeah,
here.
man,
Blessings.
Colville.
Blessings. All right, so we have so some persons are saying Mark said, but men don't like to be rejected. And then Diamond made a point here when we were talking about the the final say in terms of relationship. And she says, you know, it isn't a power struggle as to who has the final say. As a matter of fact, when we place the decision making in our hand and not let the final say be given to God, we mess up things. I am not saying we don't have a choice, but just even in our choosing, the final say belongs to God. But and the main thing, you're making a point, and you're basically giving us the answer. So while God, if you're praying to God about somebody, God is going to reveal signs to
Yeah.
you during the course of time to prove to you that, hey, you know, this is not the best person. You're gonna see it. You have a choice then whether you want us to continue along the way or not. But as it relates to getting into a relationship and everything, sometimes God don't necessarily intervene all the time. We will have to say yes if we want to proceed. But then he sometimes shows you sign after. Sometimes he shows you sign before. God has different unconventional ways of doing things. And there are times you will be sitting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And it's like God saying, my child, you're supposed to choose. I give you wisdom, make your choice. And so sometimes he is very, very silent on our decision making. All right. Shalana said she would have been rejected before and then got the best relationship with that person years after. So it happens. So, gentlemen, our final question to close this, to bring the curtains down on where is my bride. I have to be careful. I'm always ending that because I always mix it up. Where is my bride part 2? So, gentlemen, to close, I just want to know: do you think it is difficult for you as young men to find good women?
Yes.
Why do you say yes, Jassy?
Let other people answer. I'll answer after.
All right.
I'll say it properly now.
Okay, you're
All right, I
processing
think
that.
first of all, we need to establish what our definition of good is. I mean, speaking from this context, everybody would have, I mean, we might, see it as a, let's say, an Adventist context, but I mean, it's a social platform. So we have different people listening. So you need to first of all establish what this good person is, this good woman is. Um, and I think importantly, we need to, in your process or your quest for finding this good one, you must also ensure that you are a good man. Because many times we expect to find these good, but we don't intend to give good, you know. And we should use this spirit of singleness to get prepared. We talked about this in length the last time. But yeah, you need to, in order to get good, we need to also be able to give good or be good, right? We need to look at the right places. I mentioned this at my introduction. You can't expect to find certain things in certain places, right? So we need to be able to know, hey, this is where I'm going to get my definition of good. So we need to be able to look in the right places. Again, I said this just now. Know your working queen, whichever one. I'm speaking to both persons now. There's lists, that's nice, but we still need to be able to be flexible. We need able to, give it a try. And again, I'll end with this. You know, um, it's a risk relationship. I like to put it as a risk. People might
Yeah.
not share this perspective, but relationship, it is a risk. The reality is things could go in various directions. And just invest what you're willing or able to lose. So I'll say it might not, the answer would not be that yes, it's hard, but just where you're looking, are you prepared? Are you a good man looking for a good woman? Are you a good woman looking for a good man? And all these things. Know your self worth.
Excellent. Excellent. Love it.
I like that.
Good
I like that
woman.
because
Go ahead, Kevin.
A good woman.
Just Miami.
right. So basically, I was going to ask the same question. What is good for you? We have our own misconception of what good is, right? And I really believe that novels and movies have a lot to do with that as well, creating this misconception of what a good man or good woman is, right? Because at the ending of it all, none of us is perfect, right? We all got skeletons in our closet, right? But if you want a good man or good woman, you yourself have to be good, because at the ending of the day,
Ah,
do good and good shall follow. Simple as that.
Yep.
Um,
Amen.
Most of the times, the good men don't get the good women because, a lot of situations, because I myself, based on things that I have surveyed and I have seen, it's not an easy road. A lot of the good men, they get women that are very, very harsh. And a lot of the good women, they don't get good men. It's like vice versa. Based on the way that sin has destroyed the world, that's how it comes to. Based on my experience and talking about experiences, this is what that happens. So I said, Lord, I think God has to be the centerpiece of it so that a good man can get a good woman. But it has to be a lot of prayer, a lot of fasting, a lot of,
Definitely.
yeah, for that situation, for both of the sides to be stuck together. That's what I have to say.
Agree. Thank you. Agree. Jesse.
yeah. I agree with Kevin. With something he said in particular, more or less you are what you attract, right? Now, I wish Colville was here to go through the psychological aspect of it. Now, when I said, do you think it could also, yes, I said, yes, but that was just from two perspectives, right? So the first one is my perspective because before I started, therapy and life coaching, I find I was attracting worst of the worst now. And like somebody who is unaccountable, you blame everybody except yourself. And when Kevin mentioned there, you are what you attract. That is so true. So I saying yes for somebody who needs work, right? Saying yes from that standpoint. Now the next standpoint I'm saying yes from, even though you are what you attract, that doesn't mean you are, how to put it, invulnerable from attracting bad man. Now the reality is there's more bad than good, right? The average woman, unfortunately, whether it's in church or outside, is not the Proverbs 31 woman, right? And that, as Gavin was talking about, as what is good woman for you, that should generally be a rubric, right? Proverbs 31 woman. Yeah, we might have our other little preferences here and there, but that should be the rubric ultimately. So if you have been working on yourself and you're following that rubric, it should not be difficult. But it is difficult because of, well, how things are today. So that's why I said yes. I didn't say yes to come and bash women or anything like that. But I
Yeah.
say yes from those two angles there, right?
Beautiful. Beautiful. All right. So I'm loving it. Gentlemen, you guys would have represented. And even amidst everything, folks, I want to tell you there is absolutely nothing like giving your relationship to God. You pray, as Yamin said, fast. You do whatever it is. God is going to show you you made a wrong decision. He shows you sometimes before, He shows you sometimes during. Even if you're at the point of engagement or marriage and you realize this is not this, God has been showing you that I'll be making the worst decision in my life, people, it's preferably you go now. Just to say this. So while each person, you're on your quest, the ladies last week, where is my groom? The men this week, where is my bride? And there are many other single persons in the audience listening. I pray and I hope that God is going to grant you the desires of your heart according to what He wants for each one of us. So let us not be discouraged even during this period of Earth's history where we're seeing wedding every single month almost, and you're wondering how you're thinking about your age, and then you're wondering, I'm seeing people who are 10 years younger than me getting married. As my friend Tracy would always say, marriage should never be the ultimate end goal. Enjoy your dating life, enjoy your courtship, enjoy your engagement period. When marriage comes, thank you, Jesus, enjoy that too. But let your goal not to be just to find somebody to just rush into marriage. So take your time, ladies and gentlemen.
Just
We should have a combined episode. Eh?
Yeah, we're thinking about that. It was suggested, so we're thinking about that. Let's see how it goes.
just to say something. Sometimes when we are single and we are dating, those times before. I don't know if you all experience it. We had Young and the Restless, and the Bold and the Beautiful. Those kind of acts are happening in at the time of dating. But when the marriage, those acts don't happen. It has to be consistent. It's not as though
That's
it's
right.
for the dating alone. It has to be flowing. It has to allow the thing to go the right way.
Excellent point.
So that's what
Excellent
my point I had to. Yes.
There must be a growth process and a continual growth. A tree doesn't arrive, as they say, marriage has to be cultivated, and relationship in general, it doesn't arrive to point Z without working through A to Z first. So God's blessing, folks. It was a pleasure to have you on. We went over 8 minutes over our time, but nevertheless, I'm going to ask one of you gentlemen to just close us in prayer this evening.
Heavenly Father, we just want to thank you tonight for the program. We ask, oh God, that you will bless us, oh God. Bless us with the necessary wives that we need, oh God. Those wives that would help us, those wives that will love us, oh God. Those wives that will stand up for you, those wives that will do the necessary things that you give them to do, oh God, oh Father. We ask that you would work for us, oh God, that you will guide us in the right path, do what is necessary for us, and at the end, save us in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. So thank you very much once again, Colville, Gavin, Jassy, Yamin, and Kevin. Members of the audience, thank you so much for your comments and your support. Remember, if you're still viewing on YouTube, to like the video, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Next week, look out for the program next week. Still yet some confirmation to be made, but you will see the flyer, and we're going to see you again next Thursday at 6:30. As I play my intro, good night, gentlemen.
You have been a wonderful audience. Don't forget to like the page and follow on Facebook at Issues in Focus with Shibiki Vibers. And subscribe to the YouTube channel, Issues in Focus with Shibiki Vibers. Follow me also now on Instagram with username Shibiki. Join us next Thursday at 6:30 p.m. God's blessings. See you then.